Grab yous a milkshake and a hamburger. We're back talking Riverdale. This is a review for Riverdale, Chapter 14. A Kiss Before Dying. Okay, so this was the Season 2 premiere, and I gotta say, they hit the ground running on this. They had a lot of stuff going on, and they just plowed through it like a freight train. There was only one major plot going on tonight, and that was Fred Andrews had been shot in the season finale, and now we're just dealing with the aftermath of that. Fred, he's hanging in there, and he's having all these sort of dreams about dying, and everyone's telling him he's got to go on to the afterlife. And we found out a few interesting things, like he had his father and his brother are dead. I'm kind of interested in this brother of his Uncle Oscar. At least that's what, he's Archie's uncle, Oscar. Fred's, brother. What's the story there? The father dying, old, we could say old age or, lung cancer or something like that. But what's the deal with the dead brother? Is that going to come back? That might be interesting. And, he's having all these visions of the guy who shot him and, like Archie graduating, Archie marrying Veronica. And like I said, the general feeling is, Fred, you're dead. Come on, go to the afterlife. Fred decides he's going to hang in there to protect Archie. And, of course, Archie's trying to figure out what happened to his father. He wants to protect him. So he's trying to, figure out what went down. He's talking to the sheriff, and, they end up doing a lineup. The guy that he saw there, Mr. Green Eyes, is, what I'm calling him, because Archie really focused on the fact that the shooter had green eyes. He's not in that lineup. And then they find out from Pops that the guy didn't take any money in the shootout. That's actually Jughead. But I think this gets back to Archie. But basically they're saying, oh, this wasn't about money. This guy's, he's crazy. That's what Pops is telling him. Another little interesting tidbit. Pops is talking about how his shop has been robbed quite a few times. And at one point there were some riots in Riverdale. And some of the, the windows of the shop got broke out. So another thing they're talking about Riverdale and its dark history. Riots? When did this happen? That might be something that will be interesting coming up. But like I said, Archie, he wants to protect his father. And, he has flashbacks to the diner. And you realize that, after Fred got hit, Archie's trying to, fix him. And the guy put a gun to Archie's head. And then Archie just kind of closed his eyes and didn't know what to do, froze up. That's like now Archie's like, he's got to protect his father. But his father wants to protect him. That should be interesting dynamic across the season. Like I said, we don't find out too much. But then this guy who shot Fred ends up killing Mrs. Grundy, the teacher that was banging Archie. At the end of the episode, he breaks into her house when she's, she was giving piano lessons to another young kid. And she gives him a kiss goodbye, and then she walks back in her house, and the guy ambushes her, puts a broom to her throat and strangles her, and she's killed off. So this guy, what's his motivation? Who is the angel of death, as they're calling him? Or Green Eyes, as I'm calling him. I'm like, I don't know. Most of the theories, last season was that it was Hiram or Hermione Lodge had paid this guy to take care of Fred. Cover up the affair. But it looks like it's something different. Like he's got some grudge against Riverdale. And he shot Fred, and now he killed Mrs. Grundy. So how exactly, what's his... I get a feeling we're going to see a lot more of him targeting people. So watch out, secondary characters. But I think that'll make for a good mystery this season. Why is this guy killing everyone from Riverdale? How are they all connected? We know that, Miss Grundy was getting her thing on with Archie. And, Fred found out about it and kicked her out of Riverdale. Could it be Mrs. Grundy's ex-husband or abusive boyfriend or whatever excuse she was using? Turns out she was telling the truth and that guy's out to get her. Yeah, but that wouldn't explain why he didn't shoot Archie. His targets once again were Fred and her. So what? There'll be more there. Like I said, That was the main plot, and some great acting on KJ Appa's part. He's playing Archie as, just broken down by this whole thing, and he's just stressing out. And, one point he yells at Veronica because she went through Fred's stuff. She's the one that took him back to his house so he could, take a shower and get all the blood off of him, and then wrote his dick in the shower. And then, of course, Archie all of a sudden starts being a dick to her, like, right after this, just because she went through Fred's stuff. She was going to, I guess, clean it or have someone clean it. But, there was a missing wallet, so that's another plot thread we'll see throughout the season. What happened to Fred's wallet? Why did that one guy take it? Like I said, he attacked Fred, and then he goes and killed Mrs. Grundy. But why would Fred have anything in his wallet that would connect him to Mrs. Grundy? She was just a teacher that was screwing his son, and he said, "Hey, get the fuck out of Riverdale." That might be interesting to see how that plays out. Is the wallet? Is there anything significant in that wallet? I don't think so. I just think it's going to be like Jason's jacket. It turns up at some point to make you think that someone killed Mrs. Grundy and was the one that shot Fred, but they're just a red herring. And it's like that wallet could have fallen out when Archie was dragging Fred into the hospital or something like that. But I think we'll see the wallet again. Like I said, it's going to be Jason's jacket this season. So that was the major plot. Like just a few minor ones. Jughead is trying to figure out who shot Fred, so he's using his Southside Serpent connections, and that doesn't work out too well because they end up beating the shit out of the wrong guy. And they said, "Hey, you know what? You asked us to do this. We don't care if you don't wear the jacket. You're one of us." And of course, this is going to create tension between him and Betty. So I think that's going to be this season's, Archie's music. Last season when Archie, one of the plots was he wanted to work on his music. I could not stand that. So now we're going to have Betty and Jughead and the Southside Serpents triangle, and I don't look forward to it. I like the two characters, but this whole thing where it's going to be like he doesn't want to join the Southside Serpents, but he's going to get forced into it or some jazz like that, and then Betty's going to be all heartbroken about it. I was like, oh, God, no. I can't think of anything. Oh, well, of course, Veronica's father shows up at the end of the episode, and that was about it. Like I said, most of it was just about Fred. Of course, we do have someone new-ish to the Riverdale. We have a new Reggie. Last season's Reggie was played by Russ Butler, who went on to work on another series called 13 Reasons Why, which, why? Why did you leave Riverdale for that? I mean, I watched one, I didn't even watch a full episode of 13 Reasons Why. I just watched enough of it. And for, a show that's about trying to stop people from committing suicide, it just made me want to, it just looked awful. Anyway, like I said, he went off so he could do that show, and they replaced him with another actor called Charles Melton. A lot of people saying, not my Reggie. I'm saying I don't give a shit who's playing Reggie. Just give Reggie a goddamn storyline. New Reggie can take. If the reason that Reggie didn't get a storyline last year was because the guy playing him was bouncing around between Riverdale and 13 Reasons Why You're going to want to kill yourself after watching this show, that was, no longer a problem. This guy's going to stick around, so let's give Reggie a fucking storyline already, Maybe he's the one that goes out and tries to find out who the Angel of Death is. Teams up with Dilton Doily and the remedial pussycat. I don't know her name. There's 3 pussycats. There's Josie, the leader. There's Valerie, the one that was dating Archie. And the third one, whose name I'm like, yeah, her. Maybe her and Reggie could have a romance, and Dilton Doily could also have an interest in her. We have a triangle. Or maybe, the 3 of them find a gold mine. Let's give Reggie a storyline. That's all I'm saying. Aside from that, like I said, I really did enjoy tonight's episode. They threw just little tidbits out here and there. And he, makes you interested to see how the rest of the season's going to play out. I'm not necessarily looking to forward to everything. Like I said, Betty and Jughead and the Southside Serpents. Not looking forward to that. But aside from that, yeah, I am looking forward to season 2. And that's all I got to say for now. I'll put out my theories when you know, uh, when I have them. Right now, as far as like I said, with the Angel of Death, biggest thing I'm looking at is who has a grudge against Riverdale. Does it have anything to do with Fred's dead brother, or the riots, or or might I add, Betty's missing brother, because he's supposed to be coming up in this season. Would you be shocked if he turned out to be the guy who shot Fred? I wouldn't. And that's all I got to say for now.